Well, that's the photo controversy, Jim. And now let's get to WWE Monday Night Raw, a show this week from New Mexico. I have to say, I really love the way the building looked.
Yeah, because it had the big, long oval shape and low and wide so that you could see all of the people. I don't know how big the place is, but they said it was sold out and jammed. And from the shot, they had a small entrance and a narrow aisleway and etc. So I would imagine it was close to. But what else they got to do in Albuquerque besides make left turns, or Rio Rancho, I should say? That's suburban Albuquerque, is it not? Brian, you used to live in New Mexico amongst cave dwellers.
I have flown over New Mexico, I think, maybe, but I've never been to New Mexico.
I thought I've seen pictures of you in the cave dwellings out there in the cliffs of Dover that's next to where the alien land down there, Roswell.
You figured me out.
There you go. The last time I was in Albuquerque, they didn't have suburbs. It was like 1986. But anyway, this is the Raw after the Saturday night's main event, and they open up the program, and then, like a Mussolini, he won the belty. And here comes Punk. And this was a hot crowd. They liked everything considerably more than some of the people have lately. But he got the big response. And again, as you said a few minutes ago, he looks like he's having the time of his life. He's shaking hands. He's hugging people. Everybody's happy. They've finally achieved what Vince always wanted. We want to put smiles on people's faces. Well, put the belt on Punk. And they chanted, "You deserve it," and etc. And so I like that he thanked Larry first, because after all, behind every great man is his dog. And then came AJ Lee and the fans and Jey Uso. But that's the thing, is that he knows how to talk to people, and he can be a babyface without coming out there and being nicey, kissy. He's just honest about his emotions or gratitude or whatever, instead of being, but at the same time, he keeps his little edge. Whereas Cody sometimes veers into the sweetness every now and then.
The theater. Cody ventures into the theater. What did you think? Did you hear it sounded almost like Jey Uso was booed a little bit when he said his name?
Yes, there was a little when he said Jey Uso, there was a little rumble, which, we talked about that, is some people still take it personally and they get mad at the guys. I mean, all these things will pass. But there was a noticeable, But basically, he cut another good babyface promo as a new champion. And he knows that he's a target and he could lose any time, so he's got to watch out. And he plugged the bronze and wants to punch all of them in the face and fight the best. He mentioned AJ and Dominic and JD and Finn and Sheamus and John Cena. Anybody who's earned it, the champ is here. You want some, come get some. And the music plays, and it's Logan Paul. And I was wondering where he'd been. I'd almost forgot about him. And Punk was great here, because instead of standing slack-jawed and fucking gape-mouthed, dumbfounded like everybody else does, he reacted the whole way, and he didn't wait for the music to stop playing before he started speaking again. He's like, "No, anybody but you." And that goes back to something, Brian, you and I were talking about on one of the shows we did recently, where I said the announcer being in between back in the, first 60 or 70 years of television wrestling gave some kind of visual to the people separation between the two, so that they could be in the same camera shot, so that you could see a guy reacting to facially and with body language when another guy's speaking, and there was some instead of them having to just stand across the ring and look at each other, and that's what they do now. But Punk was reacting to what Logan Paul was doing. He's like, go to, as I said, go to SmackDown, take Ilya's challenge. You know, not you, you're the shits, right? And of course, Logan Paul does his heel shit. And then suddenly you hear Heyman's voice. And out he comes with the bronze. And of course, Paul Lee says, you know, Punk earlier referred him to himself feeling like a king without a crown. And Paul said, I don't see a king without a crown. It's a bitch without an owner. I'm like, Jesus Christ. And Paul says that Braun is the front of the line and orders Logan Paul to get out of the ring. And I'm thinking, well, I'm not sure about this, but Logan Paul refuses because he was there first. And then Braun starts. And this guy he's not just the screaming, drooling, you know, offspring of a dog-faced gremlin and a fucking whatever. He's got inflection. He's got levels to his promo. Loving him more and more every day. Braun says Paul bought everybody a couple of weeks to live until the new champion was crowned. And, you know, we found out what was going to go on there. And now I'm not waiting. So he cuts promo on all of them. And by the way, this is going long. And did you see the report that this segment went about 10 minutes longer than it was supposed to? Because
oh no, I did not see that.
This week's Raw on Netflix, this week's Raw is like 2 hours and 48 minutes or whatever. So anyway, he's not waiting. But the thing is, they're stars. These are the big, I'd rather see them talk and do it well than see, you know, Los Garza dipshit versus Tits McGee for 20 minutes. So Punk tells Logan Paul either we're about ready to fight, so either fight or get out of my ring. And so Logan Paul gets out, which was great. But the Bronze wouldn't let him by. And Braun Breaker shoved Logan Paul, who, did you see him hit the back of his head on the fucking ring on their LED board?
That was bad.
I heard a clunk too. I did that one night on Raw on the fucking stairs, and kind of liquid came out my nose all night. But anyway, so Reed and Breaker swarm Punk, and boom, 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 they're beating him up. And then Logan Paul comes in and finally to do something, but they beat him up. And then Bronson Reed splashes Logan Paul. And then Punk comes in with a chair and clears the ring and gets the CM Punk chance. And the heels took off and Logan Paul's there selling. And we're 26 minutes into the show. But as I said, I'd rather see all the guys that can talk do it and get an angle going than the miscellaneous matches. This didn't feel as long as these goddamn opening show soliloquies normally are, because they kept bringing more people out and they could all talk. I don't know did you nod off?
No, I really liked it, and I didn't get tired of it. I didn't realize it went that long. It went by pretty quickly, and I think it's in part because Logan Paul was a surprise. I mean, I didn't think, oh, what if Logan Paul and Punk start their feud tonight? So him coming out there was a surprise, and the way it played out, just in this segment alone, not even talking about the main event, it all was what's going to happen, what's about to happen. I feared we would get Adam Pearce storming out there, stop everything! We'll have a match! Like, I was dreading that happening, and it didn't. And it didn't happen. So it felt different. It ended differently than a lot of these things do. We could discuss Logan Paul taking the splash and returning later on, but whatever.
Yeah.
But I thought this was great, and it was intriguing because you didn't know what would happen exactly with Punk and Logan Paul, and then all of a sudden, as soon as Heyman and the Brawns come out, now you really don't know what's going to happen because they're insulting Logan Paul too. He's standing there. Me personally, I didn't have any thoughts of what if Logan Paul joins the Heyman stable. So I thought this was a great segment.
Well, and in theory, Logan Paul can occupy the Seth Rollins position to where, there's a single egomaniac, and then there's these two tag team guys with one kind of egomaniac, and Bronson Reed's the Arn Anderson, and that's fine. And, they can kind of do maybe sort of whatever it was they were going to do to begin with. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Except Logan Paul doesn't have as bad a fashion sense as Seth Rollins.
Logan Paul is so good. When he came out there and got on the mic, it's not that he's even saying anything that other heels haven't said or couldn't say, but you believe him. You absolutely believe he's this conceited prick.
Yes.
You believe it, and he's so good in that role.
And because there is, I'm sure, a great element of art imitating life. He carries it off so well, it's very natural to him.
But we just talked the other day, it may have even been a Saturday Night's Main Event review. I'm not even sure when. We've recorded a lot recently. About who's the champion going to feud with next, whether it was Cody or Punk. Like, what's out there? Obviously, Braun and Bronson are out there, but there's a lot of things, I don't know. I mean, Randy Orton and Cody is something they haven't really done yet, pulled the string on yet, but you could tell that it's been set up a little bit. But what about Punk? We didn't think about Punk and Logan Paul.
What? We didn't think about Logan Paul.
We didn't think about Logan Paul. Kind of like Punk's promo here. He didn't even mention it. Reality and wrestling, but we didn't even talk about him. That is something different. That is something new. That is something I'd want to see, especially the promos back and forth.
Well, and besides that, now I can see also, well, we'll go ahead and talk about the end of the show if you want to at the same time here, and then come back and fucking pick up a couple of other things. But the point is with Logan Paul and Paul Heyman aligned with each other, they could do the deal where Logan Paul's a fucking businessman. He's the fucking prime guy. He's the mover and shaker, but he needs the fucking Heyman is a goddamn agent. Heyman's a powerful fucking guy. They join together, and Heyman's like, yes, a client like this, they can put each other over. But Heyman and that group can add something to Logan Paul, who's not there all the time. And now he's got somebody to talk for him and keep him alive when he may not be there. You see where I'm going? So I like that. And then Braun can still be jealous of Logan Paul at some point, or vice versa. And what happens when Rollins gets back? He's going to be a babyface because he's coming back from an injury. So you guys, there you go. So they're, I think, doing a good job of piecing back together whatever they were trying to accomplish in the first place. Having said that, the main event, Brian, that we did end up getting, at least they didn't just, oh, you guys fight right on the spot. But the main event was Punk and Jey Uso against Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. And Punk had to, they got together during the show, he and Jay, and so Jay, okay, I'm my own man with this type of thing. And then Paul was telling Jay in veiled terms, earlier in the program, that is going to be a bad experience for him with anybody that's not with the vision. They're just going to get the shit kicked out of them every time they show up. So good luck. So the tag team match was set for the main event, and we have the questions of who's going to do what to who and who can trust who, and the guys teaming up that just had the world title match. And again, they had a good match, but it's not about It wasn't about the fucking match. They got him. Jay is trying. He seems to be getting away from the open-handed punches like the other Samoans do. But they got heat on Punk, and Bronson Reed, I think, is really good, and Braun Breaker is, the next megastar. And did you see Dax Harwood got pissed on Twitter? Did you say, wait, you can tell he's pissed, even though he didn't act pissed. He just tweeted a picture. The Bronze did a shatter machine to Punk and got a 2 count, and Uso made the save. And then Dax tweeted out a picture of them doing the shatter machine and just said, not even close. Did you see this?
I did not see this, no.
Yeah. I mean, I could get mad at every team that does the flapjack, but, it's kind of, at this point, everybody's going to do every fucking move. Anyway, finally, the tags to Uso and Reed, and Uso made a comeback, and they got a false finish or two, and then Punk and Braun went to the floor, and Jay dove on Bronson Reed on the floor, and they had a 4-way on the floor, and they actually got counted out. The first double count out I can remember seeing in forever, because they couldn't beat the baby faces, and they don't need to beat the heels. And then finally they kept the fight going, and the only thing I have, they rang the bell, double count out, and then the referee disappears. And you never hear another bell ring, like ding, 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 whatever. You never see any other referees come out. They just continue the fight. And they've lost the pretext of this is out of control. Am I being a nitpicker here?
I wouldn't say a nitpicker. I mean, that's just maybe the right way to do it. You're pointing out a logic hole. I just want to say, I thought, and I never thought I would say this, I thought the double count out was kind of refreshing. We kind of got to a period where there's always a finish.
Yes.
And there's, and again, I don't want every match to be double DQ and double count out, but I saw plenty of shows as a kid where maybe the majority of the matches had a, whatever you want to call it, a non-finish. It was the end of the match, but you didn't get a winner. We get too many winners, and I guess too many losers is the bigger issue.
The point is, at least now we know there's some rules. If there was more of it, because in those days, they did double countouts or double DQs or whatever to continue a program to avoid having one entity, either single or team, triumph over the other before the program was finished. And if it was exciting enough, people got into it, but also because most of the matches were conducted as if there were fucking rules. Now, then suddenly the marks amongst the wrestling fans, the subset of wrestling fans that are truly marks, decided that, oh no, you got to have a finish or you're cheating the people. Well, you cheated the people out of 6 more weeks of the program. But then it became, we're going to do all the outlandish shit, but we'll just never have a disqualification or a count out. We'll just act like there's no rules and it will still have a finish. And that's now the norm. So it was refreshing that, yeah, get back in the ring or we're going to count your ass out. Anyhow, they're having the big fight. And they splashed Uso, so he's wiped out. But Punk comes in with a chair again. And the heels get the chairs and start to come back in. They got a standoff. And here comes Logan Paul. And he stands up next to Punk and he puts on the brass knucks. And he swings and knocks Punk slap dab out. Colder than a banker's heart. And it got heat. They were booing. And then Punk's laid there. Jay's laid there. The people are booing, and they start chanting, "Fuck you, Logan," which they were trying to bleep. And Logan Paul turns to Heyman, and Heyman's like, "If he hits me, kill him," to the Bronze. And Logan Paul handed the knucks to Heyman. And Logan smiles, and Paulie smiles. And it was a good detail that Paul didn't know, because obviously if they had plotted it from the start, then Logan Paul took a fucking splash for no reason.
Right.
And as you said, he still came back apparently suffering no ill effects from a fucking splash. But if it had all been a plot from the start, that's going over and above the Call of Duty, right?
Right. I guess we're supposed to believe that something happened between that first segment and this last match that made Logan Paul say, maybe I want to join those guys.
Well, that's what I'm thinking, is that Logan Paul probably said, I'm an entrepreneur and I want this successful merger of business empires, some shit like that. But nevertheless, did you see, here's another thing, this AI bullshit now. Somebody within 12 hours had taken the clip of Logan Paul handing the Nux to Paul Heyman and them, a close up of them smiling at each other. And they have generated the video of them leaning in and giving a big old anteater tongue kiss to each other. And that kind of disturbing image should not be put on a platform where children under the age of 21 or maybe even 25 should be able to see it. Don't you agree?
Yeah, I didn't, and I'm glad.
Well, you got to see it. I only saw it 17 or 18 times, but you got to see it once or twice.
All right, well, that was the main event of Raw, and what an ending to the review of the main event of Raw that was.
We got to go back because we never neglected over part of it in the middle because we wanted to keep some continuity there. But the Battle of the Mysterios, did you remember this, don't you?
I thought this was really good, and there were a few lines, and I thought Dominic's facial expressions, it was really good, I thought.
Well, that's Dominic was doing the in-ring promo, and again, boy, this kid, now he's got the people, and he knows it, and they don't boo over him now every time he opens his mouth because they want to hear. And he said, bow down to the king of the luchadors. And he got boos and cheers. And he cuts the promo. I'm the best lucha libre, blah, blah, blah. And no man on the planet can stop me. Rey Mysterio's music hits. And he gets a big pop. And because he's been hurt since, who was the clumsy dipshit that jerked him out of the ring day before WrestleMania and tore his groin?
Oh, I don't remember. Yeah, I forgot all about that.
Well, he got about 7 months off for that. But anyway, the people were holy shit, and it's New Mexico. There's a Hispanic contingent in the audience. This is tailor-made for this market. And Ray cuts the promo. Say, you're not the king of lucha libre, but the fans started singing Dirty, Dirty Dom, or what? How? Like Cody Rhodes. What is that tune?
Daddy Cool by Boney M.
No, I mean, what's the? I can't sing the tune. Is it Dirty Dominic? Oh yeah, Dirty. No, it's Michael Jackson.
I don't know what that is, but Dominic leaned into it. I thought it was great.
And the point is, they're doing this, but the people are into this segment, right? And Ray saying, you're insulting not only our family, but El Santo and Blue Demon, and Eddie Guerrero got a big pop, and they chanted Eddie. And then Dominic said, keep my father's name out of your mouth.
Oh, what a line.
And the kids, he's come a long way. So Dominic's saying, I'm better than all of them, and I'm better than you. And Ray starts taking his jacket off, and the people are chanting, whoop his ass, whoop his ass. And then Dominic tells Ray, get out of my ring. Everybody is like a squatter. They've claiming ownership of the ring. So Ray says, I'm going to leave, but as long as I'm around, you're never going to be the king of lucha libre, and this will never be your ring, and you'll never be the greatest Mysterio. And so Dominic swung at him, and they had a little scuffle, and Ray hit the 619, and Dominic bailed. And that was, again, excellent. I want to see the eventual match again. I know they've done things before, but this is all brand new now. Otherwise than that, it was a little bit dreary, the rest of the program.
Will we get that match on Raw or a pay-per-view, or will we get it in AAA?
Oh, what? Why couldn't it be on a premium live event and in AAA? Because it'll work more than once, and I would think that the markets are far enough apart where they could do it a couple of times. I wouldn't just give it away on Raw. But what do I know?
Well, we'll see what happens with the Mysterios. Did you see Adam Pearce pulling the balls or the ballots, whatever it was?
No, was he pulling his balls out again? We had to talk to him about that several times in Ring of Honor.
It wasn't.
He's so proud of them.
Yes, he calls one Ross and the other Sid.
Yes.
From what I understand,
and of course, one of them was bigger than the other, so he had the sort of lopsided testicular situation going on there. But yeah,
but the drawing, I guess, the drawing is the word I'm looking for, of the contestants for the tournament to wrestle John Cena on Saturday night's main event on Peacock for his last.
I didn't see that. I didn't see that part.
Yeah, they did half of it, and it was just not really exciting. It was Sheamus versus someone, Damian Priest versus someone, and then Sheamus versus someone. And yeah, we'll see what this is. But that was Raw. That was Raw. Jim.
Yeah.
John Cena is a man who's about to have a lot of time on his hands and a lot of money at his disposal. John Cena may say, it's time to play the slots. He's had plenty of, now it's the slots.
He's had enough experience with the sluts, and now he's going for the slots.
With our good friends at DK Casino.
Well, when you're going to the casino, ladies and gentlemen, now you go to a virtual casino. No longer do you have to get in your car and drive to a place and park at a garage and walk in the thing, and there's no clocks and there's no windows, and you get lost with all of the booze and the hookers and the politicians wandering around. Now you can beat in the casino from the privacy of your own home with DraftKings Casino, because you just download the thing and there you go. And they are the home of cash eruption. Can you imagine the sensation of having cash erupt all over you? You're standing next to a big mound of dirt and suddenly, boom, the thing blows up and there's cash just spewing everywhere. That's the kind of feeling you're going to have when you spin the largest collection of cash eruption slots anywhere that you're going to find at DraftKings Casino, including the new and exclusive Big Bank Breakout. Brian, you remember Big Bank Breakout? He was a member of the original Sugar Hill Gang. You remember him?
That was Hank, not Bank. But if you want to make bank,
it was Big Bank Hank.
It was Big Bank Hank. That's true.
Yeah, his last name was Breakout. Hank Breakout. He was from up in the Bronx. Nevertheless,
whether on Sugar Hill or Mulberry Lane, it doesn't matter.
You're going to go to Sugar Town. Mary Hill used to love to hang out in Cherry Hill Park. I understand that was a big thing. But nevertheless, you can get 500 spins over 10 days period of time on your choice of cash eruption slots when you wager $5. You just wager $5, you're going to get 500 spins. That's would be like 10 cents a spin. Would that be $50? What's the math on that?
I think
it's a penny a piece.
They've asked us not to do any math, but talk about what a great deal it is for the listeners.
Well, Jiminy Christmas, this is almost nothing. Play classic cash eruption today, then red hot joker or coins and clovers tomorrow. It's all up to you. I'll take the coins. You can keep the clover. But if you get a 4-leaf clover, Then the Red Hot Joker comes over and plays poker with you. And it's Red Hot Joker Poker. It's all up to you. Get the app, sign up with the code Cornette, and then start spinning. On the home of cash eruption, you will spin until you're spun out. Many of the DK Casino folks that you'll find have spun themselves into a frenzy because DK Casino is the place to go to spin these spinners until they're all spun out and the money spews out in your face, just drenches you. The crown is yours at DraftKings Casino.
That's right. The crown is yours.
The code is Cornette.
The code is Cornette. They support us, support them. DK Casino. And if you win anything, remember your friends.
Yes, and also we're starting a GoFundMe for medical bills in case I have some type of aneurysm or stroke. Reading the disclaimer. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. 21 plus, physically present in Connecticut, Michigan, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and West Virginia only. Void in Ontario. Eligibility restrictions apply. Non-withdrawable casino spins issued as 50 spins per day for 10 days. Valid for featured game only and expire each day after 24 hours. See terms at casino.draftkings.com/promos. Ends January 4th, 2026 at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. That would be 10:59 p.m. Central Time, and continue down the line. Not available in the Netherlands Antilles.
The crown is yours. Something fell. The crown is yours. God's damn it. All right,
the king is dead.
The king is dead. But don't worry, Andrew Mountbatten Windsor is here to save everyone.